saying that these moments will again reset the tone for the next two games.
Well, it has to. The Capitals played once they got the first goal in Game 1. Heard Robbie Laird tell Jeff Rimmer the Caps need to be physical, want to be physical. A lot of pressure on the New Jersey defensemen, but don't be dumb penalties. And if you have remembrance of history in this series that the Devils and Capitals played in 1988, everything got crazy in Game 3, setting team records. Everything got crazy in Game 3, setting all kinds of team records for penalty minutes and total number of penalties in a single game for both sides. And, of course, the Capitals and Devils for that entire series still have the record for the most penalty minutes of the series and the most number of penalties called, and it all broke loose in Game 3.
Right now, let's head to Jeff Rimmer, who is standing by with Capitals coach Terry Murray.
Thanks, Mike. Terry, you're back at the friendly confines of the Capitol Center, and a split up there in New Jersey, and that's really what you wanted.
The split is very good coming back home, Jeff. I was real pleased with the way we played up there. We went to the net, we scored some goals, we played tough, we responded in all situations, and I'm real happy and looking forward to the game tonight here.
And certainly a big positive, the return again of Mike Ridley.
Well, it sure is a positive. It's going to be a boost for the whole team, I think. You know, Mike told me this morning he felt good after the warm-up, pre-game skate, and that if I use him just on specialty teams early in the game, Jeff, I'll just take a look as to how he's doing and how he's feeling and ask him maybe at the end of the first period, do you want more ice time? If he says yes, and I expect he will, then he'll get full shifts.
What do we expect from the Capitals tonight?
Well, it's I hope a lot of intensity, a lot of hard work here early. The first 10 minutes of the game are certainly going to be very important. I know both teams are going to come out very pumped up for the start of this game, Jeff. So the first 10 minutes are going to be important as far as checking and being very responsible here.
And what about goaltending tonight?
Well, I'm going to put Mike Liut in goal here tonight. He's played well in the series. I didn't take him out because of lack of good play by Mike Liut. It was more to just send a little bit of a message to everybody else that we've got to pick our level of play up a couple more notches as far as intensity is concerned. So I'll come back with him, and hopefully he can give me a big game.
Good luck tonight, Terry.
Thanks, Jeff.
Let's go back upstairs to Mike and Al.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much. You know, the Devils certainly have established themselves in this playoff series with scoring. They've done a lot of that so far, and they've been led by two players, one of them an established New Jersey Devil for many years, the other a relative newcomer, but we always knew he could put the puck in the net.
Well, Lou Lamoriello's got to be thrilled what he's seen out of Peter Stastny. They made the trade at the trading deadline to get more offense and a more valuable player to key their specialty teams, and Peter Stastny certainly has done that. 2 goals, 2 assists, and has been a major factor on faceoffs as well, winning the vast majority of all the draws. He is the key man to take those faceoffs. And, of course, the big goal scorer for the New Jersey Devils over the past number of seasons has been John McLean, and he's certainly kept it up. Picked up 2 goals the other night. Got the two of the 3 goals in the first period as the Devils opened up the 3-0 first period lead. McLean also another guy who works both specialty teams, power play and penalty kill. The one negative right now is a -3, which means the Capitals are beating him a little bit at even strength, and they'll see if they can exploit that a little bit further. But this man, particularly if the game is on the line, is one of the most dangerous players in the National Hockey League.
You talk about scoring. The Capitals are lucky to have in the lineup tonight 2 big scorers for them because of injury over the last couple of games in Dino Ciccarelli and Mike Ridley.
Well, Dino Ciccarelli has been the story of the playoffs so far. What an unbelievable game he had the other night. Again, after that hat-trick game, came back with key goals, got a late goal to give the Caps some sort of hope at the very end. 5 goals, 2 assists so far. The Devils have not been able to shut him down, and without the last line change tonight, it'll be very interesting to see what they try and do against Dino Ciccarelli. They certainly tried to get physical with him and cut him up and bashed his teeth in with some sticks the other night, and I would imagine that rough play will continue to try and slow down Dino Ciccarelli. Of course, you got Mike Ridley coming back. How effective will be remains to be seen. How much ice time he has is really up to him. He's basically going to be centering the 4th line, but you can see Ridley out there on the power play and probably also to kill penalties. But just how much even strike time he gets really depends on how he feels. He will communicate that to Terry Murray and tell him just how much he can go tonight.
Okay, the crowd's starting to cheer as we're just about ready for the start of tonight's game, and with both teams lined up, ready to go, let's turn it over now to the public address voice of the Capitol Center, Marv Brooks.
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bunkers king and I, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Here are tonight's officials. On the ice, it'll be Ron Hogarth as the referee. Wayne Bonney and Jerry Pateman are the linesmen. The backup official will be Rob Schick. And the off-ice officials are provided by the Boston Bruins, normally work in Boston Garden. Chris Terreri gets the call tonight for the New Jersey Devils. He was victorious in Game 2, gave up 5 goals. He'll be backed up by Sean Burke. And for Washington, it is Mike Liut. Liut got the win in Game 1, played in Game 2, but was not involved in the decision. He has allowed 7 goals against so far in 86 minutes, and will be backed up by Don Beaupre. John Tucker is all set to go at center ice. Alan May is out there on the left wing. John Druce on the right side. Scott Stevens back on defense, and he's paired up with Bob Rouse. The Devils have Pat Conacher on the left wing, David Maley at center ice, and over on the right wing side, it is Doug Brown. Caps win the faceoff. We're underway with Game 3. Here's Rouse up to the blue line. He's bumped against the board, sends it ahead to center, and now off the skate of Druce. It's inside the Devils' zone. Played back into the Washington end of the ring. Scott Stevens into the corner. Over to John Tucker. Loops a pass ahead to Druce. Here's Druce to the center ice line. Tied up there by Velishek. Rouse carries it on in. Centering pass just missing Tucker. Now over against the corner boards. Alan May tries to work it free from Danico. It comes out to Velishek, and he feeds to David Maley. Now Maley works to center ice. Maley across the line. Hooked on the play. The puck comes back to Rod Langway. So Rouse. Caps change up the line. The puck cleared all the way on into the Devils' zone. And Fetisov is back to get it on defense. Now out to Patrick Sundstrom. Here's Sundstrom back to the Washington line. Langway ahead for Hunter. Hunter across the blue line to Kortnall, but a poke check works it loose. And Muller is tied up now by Dale Hunter. Here comes the Devils back across the line. Stastny trying to throw it to the side of the net, but there is Hatcher for Washington. And Kevin Hatcher starts back for the Capitals. Up to Rod Langway. Now to Steve Leach. Sundstrom steals. Brings it across the line to Kasatonov. With Stastny, a pass to him. He fires, and it's wide of the net. Now a bouncing puck loose in front. And Liut is able to grab that puck, which was flipping end over end right in front of the goal. And he hangs on to stop play while Hunter gets jostled in behind the netting.
Well, I tell you, this line that John Cuniff has put together on Saturday night, extremely dangerous. You've got Muller out there with Stastny and Sundstrom. Stastny's able to get free, just barely misses on that right goalpost. Then that centering pass coming out, Muller with a dig on it. Hunter did a nice job of coming back and cutting that off. Peter Sundstrom with a couple whacks at it. Then the pushing and shoving begins. And a look at the ice from behind Mike Liut on our new camera angle. That camera is mounted on top of the goal judge's booth, right behind the goal that Mike Liut is defending for the first and third periods. Terry Murray starting off with Hunter out there with Leach and Kortnall to go against that dynamite line of Sundstrom, Stastny, and Muller.
The draw gets between the point men, and Weinrich has to chase it now back into his own zone. He's paired up with Bruce Driver. Kelly Miller into forecheck. So is Cicerelli and Povanka. Almost like a basketball full court press.
and it puts pressure on the Devils' neck. And Miller got a stick on it, but it goes wide. Now Driver in the throw, a hit on Cicerelli. He's going to take a penalty. The New Jersey Devils take the game's first penalty call for holding. Bruce Driver is headed off the ice at 1:51 of the first period.
It is a race from California to New York to win America's favorite light beer. It is the Tour Delight. Here comes the Jamaican bobsled team, Flecko and White, and of course, Run DMC.
Hey guys, I know a shortcut. Follow me.
Well, there goes Woody Harrelson. They all want to win the less filling beer that really tastes great, Miller Lite. And so, it's on to New York.
Canada. All right. That's on the map.
Well, Kelly Miller just misses on a deflection right at the side of the net. Pavanka picked off that clearing pass from the Devils up along the boards, got it to Cicerelli, who directed it towards Kelly Miller. Then Cicerelli hauled down by Bruce Driver. The holding call at 1:51 for the Capital power play. At the point, here's a shot by Hatcher. That's deflected just wide. Now cleared to Cicerelli. Over to Stevens, in behind the goal. Doesn't have much room. Hunter comes in to help him out. He takes the puck off the side of the goal. He flips it. And now a collision in front of the Devil net. And some pushing and shoving starts. Scott Stevens in there roughing it up with Alexei Kasatonov, the New Jersey Devils Soviet defenseman. And Mike, here's a wrinkle we haven't seen for quite a while. Scott Stevens coming up and playing forward on this power play unit with Hatcher and Johansson working the points. He was the man who got that last deflection and directed it towards Chris Terreri, and certainly was a bull right in front. So Terry Murray, seeing the pressure that the New Jersey Devils certainly put on his goaltenders on the power play, running both Mike Liut and in more in particular Don Beaupre. In that third period, especially with the 5-on-3, the Devils used plenty of size in front and really banged up in front of Don Beaupre. And that certainly is something I would imagine Terry Murray is trying to do right now with the addition of both Scott Stevens and Dale Hunter on this forward line. That is plenty of muscle in front. The draw comes back to the point. Here's Johansson over now to Hunter. He throws to the other point man, Kevin Hatcher. Into Dino Cicerelli. Back to Hatcher. Over to Johansson. Again to Kevin Hatcher. Now to Hunter. Hunter tries to center. It hits a skate. Goes back to Hatcher at the point. 1:20 left in the power play. The puck cleared to the corner for Dale Hunter. Here's Hunter rink wide to Hatcher. A shot deflected. And it goes up into the crowd out of play. You know, using Scott Stevens down low like that in a forward position is a page out of Washington Capitals history books, and a successful page at that.
Well, the best year Scott Stevens had was 3 seasons ago, where he had over 20 goals, and a number of them scored on the power play, and it certainly is something he absolutely loves to do. The one thing, though, is he sometimes gets so rambunctious and probably has the designs on paying so many people back for putting him in that similar position that he sometimes gets tossed out of there on penalties. But so far, really kept his cool nicely. Caps have 1:12 left to go. Stevens on the bench now.
Here's Johansson back to the point for Pavanka. A wrist shot, a save by Terreri, and he hangs on. Terreri made the stop, but was on his way to diving to his left and flew through the air after he'd already caught the puck. And we're down to 1:05 left in the penalty call.
Well, it's a good sign for the Capitals from Mike Ridley. He's in there doing a little banging as well, some physical work, testing out those injured ribs. And there you see the pratfall Terreri takes after making that save. The other thing, the Capitals have looked very sharp so far on this power play, winning the faceoffs, getting the play started. They've had consistent pressure in the New Jersey zone because they have been controlling these faceoffs, and the point men then doing a good job of getting shots on net.
Caps have been inside the New Jersey zone for the entire power play thus far. Still a minute to go on it. Here's Kortnall. Back to the point for Johansson. Over to Kortnall. He fires on the deflection. It goes just wide. Now Tucker tries to play it to the point, but the Devils come out. Fetisov leads it ahead to Maley, shorthanded. Flip pass back to Fetisov from Muller. Hits the post. Fetisov in on Liut, and he hit the goal post shorthanded. Ridley back inside the line to Pavanka. Now over to Kortnall. Back to Mike Ridley.
Courtnall up the boards and has it taken away. It's cleared all the way down by Kasatonov. We're down to 12 seconds left on the minor penalty call of Bruce Driver. No score in the game, 16-15 to play, first period. Danico back into his own zone. Penalty's over. Driver's out of the box. New Jersey is at full strength. Here's a lead pass. Driver up to center ice. Dumps it into the Washington end, and Scott Stevens takes over there. Right side for Cicerelli. It gets beyond him into the Devils' zone. Now John McLean. Flips all the way out to center ice. Hatcher tries to steal there and does, giving it off to Kelly Miller. Left side for Scott Stevens. Stevens goes right wing to Hatcher. He moves to center. Here's Hunter across the line to Cicerelli. Now back to Dale Hunter. Hunter in the corner. Jammed up on the play. Hunter trying to work loose. And has it spun around and played ahead by Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan dodges a Scott Stevens check at the blue line. Now Cicerelli clears it out to center ice. And back to get it in time, Randy Velishek. Here comes John Morris for New Jersey to the corner. Now back to the point, walking in, a shot, and a goal. Ken Danico wound up and blasted it from the hash marks. Very close in for a slap shot, but I think it was that sheer power that got it past Liut's pads. The Devils have taken a 1-0 lead.
It hits off Liut's pads and into the goal, but again, the Capitals not being responsible and picking up those New Jersey Devil defensemen when they come in on the play. Now you see Liut has got a piece of it. It bounces off the pads and in, but watch how Danico comes working his way in. All the Capital forwards are down low. Bob Joyce was down low trying to help out, and essentially that's Joyce man, that right point man with Bob Joyce playing left wing, and Danico just completely coming in deep on the play, getting set up again with another nice play from John Morris. Morris had the assist on the first goal the other night. He sets up Danico this time, and the important first goal goes to the New Jersey Devils.
The puck cleared by the Devils outside the line to center ice, and Rod Langway is back to get it. On the New Jersey scoring play, it's Danico's second of the season. Morris and Shanahan get the assist. Time of the goal, 4:51. Kirk Muller checked in the corner by John Druce. Gives it off to Tucker. Here's Tucker trying to center at the point. Bob Rouse a drive, and that's just wide. Now Tucker in the corner, throws it behind the net. Bob Joyce trying to dig it out. Joyce jams up in there in the corner with Weinrich, and the puck cleared over to Sundstrom. He's held up inside the New Jersey zone, and now finally it's played by Driver against the baseboard, but pinned once again. Now Tucker steals, out to Druce. Druce couldn't hold the puck. Back to Scott Stevens. His shot cleared out by Muller to center. Muller being hooked on the play, and Bob Joyce holds him up and finally takes Muller's stick. 1-0 the score. The Devils have the lead early here in the first period. Rouse out to center ice. Lead pass to Kelly Miller. Right side now for Michael Pavanka. Here's Pavanka across the line. Drop pass for Rouse. Ferrari reaches out with his stick to keep that one going, and the Devils come back. Jamie Huscroft, long shot. Bill Grain is bumped behind the net by Cicerelli. And now Pavanka clears it ahead to Kelly Miller. Miller to center ice, gets across the blue line. Here's Miller coming on the left wing. Takes it into the corner. He's jammed up on the play by Danico. Now Pavanka with the puck. Throws it in behind the net. And Velishek plays it loose on the right board. Kept in by Johansson to Cicerelli. Miller to the corner, back to Pavanka. He centers. Cicerelli a shot. And he didn't get all of it, but that alone threw the goaltender Terreri off. He was lucky to make a pad save. We have a delayed penalty call coming up against New Jersey. Out of the net is Mike Liut. The Caps try to put a sixth attacker on as Cicerelli centers it, and it's blocked on the shot attempt. And there's going to be a penalty call here again against the New Jersey Devils. Washington's power play continues when we come back.
Announcing the Subaru Spring Training Program. Fans, now's the time to drive home a Subaru like the Legacy with a power-hitting 16-valve, 130-horsepower engine the options of civilized four-wheel drive and anti-lock brakes. You can save up to $1,500. That baby is out of here. Factory to dealer cash incentives on selected models mean you could save up to $1,500 on the Subaru.
Well, apparently the Capitals will have a power play with Huscroft and Danico in the box, but Cicerelli is also in there for Washington, so we'll see who the original call was on, and then those extra battles that got going after the whistle claimed Cicerelli and one of those New Jersey Devils.
Time of the penalty, 7:21. Here come the calls.
Number 18, Jamie Huscroft, 2 minutes on sportsmanlike conduct. For New Jersey, number 3, Ken Danico, 2 minutes for cross-checking. The Capitals, number 22, Dino Cicerelli, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. The time of the calls is 7:21.
Well, including the penalty earlier that Driver took, Washington for the series now 2 for 12. That's less than 18%. During the regular season, the Caps were 19th in the league on the power play. They hope to improve that performance here in the postseason. Now Steve Leach with a puck to the corner. Throws it behind the net. Scott Stevens with it, centers, and it goes all the way down the ice between the defense. Johansson has to skate back into his own zone to get it. Calle Johansson leads it ahead to Stevens, right side for Steve Leach. Leach into the corner now for Hunter. He's bumped on the play, and again the Devils get the clearing done. Fetisov throws it all the way down. Quickly it's passed out to Johansson. Left side, Stevens into the corner. Kasatonov lines him up. Stevens bumps in the corner, has the puck taken away. Fetisov clearing up the boards for Brown. And now Kasatonov backhands it all the way down the ice. Here comes Calle Johansson for Washington up to Kevin Hatcher. A minute to go on the power play. Johansson back to his own line. Now to Kevin Hatcher. Johansson to Hatcher, the center. Gets to the blue line of New Jersey. Gives it off to Ridley. He's bumped by Belichick. Puck cleared up the boards to the point. Kept in by Hatcher. Slap shot. Deflected. On goal. And the save made by Terreri and cleared quickly by Belichick. Now back to Kevin Hatcher at the point. Hatcher over to Courtnall. Tries to center, but here comes Sundstrom to start out. Patrick Sundstrom flips to the blue line and gets inside the Washington zone. McLean chasing it. The Capitals come out. Hatcher moves it on to center, and here's Bob Rouse to the red line. He drives it back into the New Jersey zone. Belichick clearing off the boards. Rouse keeps it in. Bob Rouse to Courtnall. Back to Rouse, and over his stick all the way back into the Washington zone. Chased behind the net. Scott Stevens up to center, gets away from Berglund, but to Ridley, and he pushes it on. Fetisov slams on the brakes and clears the puck out of the zone to center ice. Drop pass stolen at center. And we get a whistle. Play is stopped as the New Jersey net has been dislodged. 10:22 left in the first period. The Devils lead the Capitals 1-0.
Now how am I going to get there? It'll be great to see the guys again. I wonder if they'll all show. I just gotta get there.
I'm trying to make my way back to the Brackendale River.
Friends deserve the best.
This is great.
They all showed up. The crisp, clean taste of Canada's best beer, Labatt's Blue.
What took you so long?
I had a little car trouble. Between friends, it's true blue. Labatt's Blue.
Despite a 6-2 advantage in shots and 2 power plays compared to none for the New Jersey Devils, the Caps trailing the Devils in the early going 1-0. Caps have been guilty of a couple of defensive lapses that have cost them 1 goal and almost cost them another as Fetisov was let loose and his shot hit the goalpost past Mike Liu.
Here's Kirk Muller out at center ice. Now to Kasatonov. Plays it back inside the Washington zone, and Kevin Hatcher is there to chase it. Out to center, here's Berglund skating ahead with Pavonka. And at the line, Kasatonov takes it away. Now it's loose in front of the New Jersey net. But the Devils Devils recover, and back they come. Batiste off to center. Inside the line now for Muller. Wrist shot. Stastny sending it off the glove of Liut, but it's cleared out of there by Hatcher and out to center ice. Belichick to Fetisov, now back to Peter Stastny. In across the line, offside. Billgrain was in early, and Langley gives him a little shot in the corner. Looked like Billgrain was thinking about taking a shot, even though he was offside on the play, and Langley let him know by bumping him. And that's what this is all about now over in the corner.
That shot, fire in his eyes, Rod Langley. Didn't like that little extra dipsy doodling that Billgrain was doing, and Langley let him know it with a bump, came right back in it. Once again, you can see the Capitals really trying to make as much physical contact, both with body and stick, on those New Jersey Devil defensemen, Alexei Kasatonov and Miroslav Fetisov.
That offside whistle blows. The players expect you to relax. No need for any further stick handling or shooting. Langley let them know.
So far, there seems to be a series full of messages sent on both sides, with both coaches complaining about the other's tactics. Doesn't mean both. We certainly know both sides are doing it.
Not all the messages have been silent.
Oh, John Cunningham really blasting Capital people today, and singling out Neil Sheehy in particular. He was calling them chickens.
Here's Pat Conacher into the corner now for Brown. His backhander goes up high and wide into the corner. Sheehy out there right now and bumping with Brown behind the net. Now David Maley throws it behind the goal. Tucker works it free. Over to Joyce. The Capitals come out. A pass gets away from Drew. Here's Conacher. Whipping it back to center ice. Belichick in his own zone. Trading passes with Danico. Now back to Conacher. Conacher lugs it in from out in neutral ice, and Maley goes to the corner after. Johansson chases him up the boards. Now here's Conacher with the puck. Hit by Sheehy. He ties him up in the corner. Maley piles on from behind. And now the whistle blows. And it looks like we've got a stick penalty being given here to Washington. Calle Johansson has been singled out, and he will head to the penalty box per the directive of referee Ron Hogarth. Here's Jeff Rimmer.
Excuse me. Thanks, Mike. Let's get everybody caught up to date on our Washington Post scoreboard. Rangers and the Islanders are tied 1-1 on the island. Boston and Hartford are also tied 1-1. In fact, Bobby Carpenter has just tied the game in that game. And we got to look at the goal here now. As on the power play, Bobby Carpenter scores his third goal of the playoffs. And it's now 1-1. Hartford and the Bruins for Bobby Carpenter, his third goal of the playoffs. Back upstairs to Mike and Al. All right, thanks, Jeff. 11:16, the time of a cross-checking penalty to Calle Johansson. So this New Jersey power play now with their first crack at things.
Devils 3 for 15 in the series, 20%. They were 15th overall during the regular season. Not very good. Here's Stastny, bumped on the play and hit hard by Hatcher. Back to the point. Weinrich keeps it in, but Langley works it loose. He brings it ahead now to Mike Ridley. Here's Ridley with Miller held up as he crosses the line. Ridley still with a puck. There's a penalty call coming up against New Jersey. A delayed call. Out of the nets comes Mike Liut. And here comes Hatcher as the Caps have a sixth attacker on the ice. Hatcher back to Ridley. He sends it over to Langley. Langley working off some more of that Johansson penalty. Trying to give the Capitals more power play time as an end result. Now Miller backs it up behind the goal. Over goes Ridley again. Eating up more clock time on the Johansson call. Over to Kevin Hatcher. Now to Cicerelli. Back to Hatcher. To center ice. Right side Cicerelli. He's across the line. Hit by Bruce Driver. And into the corner, the Devils finally touch the puck. And the Capitals killed about 28 seconds or 29 seconds off that penalty call to Calle Johansson.
At All-Star Dodge, we've been Baltimore's #1 Dodge retail dealer for the past 7 years. Our customers keep coming back again and again because All-Star sells below credit union buying services and sometimes even below fleet prices. All-Star's $500 down cash or trade policy lets just about anybody drive a new Omni, Caravan, Daytona, or Dodge pickup truck right away. And you'll find All-Star's company executive demos discounted as much as 30% right now at All-Star.
At the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, watch John McClain on Kelly Miller. McClain will reach out with his right hand and grab the back of the jersey of Kelly Miller. There, he's got the jersey right there. That's what gets the holding call at 12:17. And you're right, what a spectacular job done by the Capitals to eat up as much time as possible. There's 30 seconds of that. That means they will have a 1 minute, 1 second power play coming out of this.
Here's Kasatonov with the puck now over to Brown. Brown moves it ahead to center ice, but Hunter has been involved in a collision with Kasatonov right in front of the Devils' net. And with the net being moved, they blow the whistle to stop play.
Well, it's about 3 occasions of some contact right in there, that New Jersey net for the Washington Capitals. So certainly that game plan of if the Devils could do it to them, the Capitals coming back and trying to do it on home ice to the New Jersey goaltenders, make that contact count. Now Stevens out there, but he's working the left point. Kevin Hatcher the right side. Hunter and Cicerelli. It's 4-on-4 hockey. Sundstrom out there, along with John Morris. Kasatonov and Fetisov working the defense for New Jersey.
Here comes Sundstrom to center ice, gets across the blue line, stolen by Scott Stevens. Stevens works it to the sideboards, but the Devils keep it in. Fetisov poking it to the corner, and Hatcher returns it all the way down. Kasatonov out there with Fetisov. The Soviets felt that Dale Hunter paid particularly rough attention to them in the first 2 games played up in New Jersey. Here comes Langway, left side. Now to Hunter across the blue line. Play broken up, and back is John Morris. Morris into the Washington zone. Langway chases him to the point. The puck cleared to the corner. Hunter ties up there. Hunter's filled by Fetisov. Sundstrom can't get by Hunter. Here's Kevin Hatcher. Penalty's over now. Johansson back on the ice. Washington at full strength. They've got a power play as McClain is still in the box. Here's Mike Ridley. Now to Pavanka. Wrist shot. Knocked down. Ridley with a steal as it played to the corner. Ridley turns in the corner and tries to set it to Korknoff. Quick shot. Knocked down. And the Devils cleared all the way down the ice. So we're now into that frame of time that the Capitals saved by their smart play, waiting for that penalty. So if they score from here on out, it's because of the good job they did in holding up that penalty call. Now Pavanka across the blue line. Over to Tucker. Stevens at the point as it cleared out to center ice. Ridley inside the zone and slapped off the boards and all the way down, and that'll end the penalty call to McClain. He's back. And the Devils are back at full strength. The penalty box is empty once more. 1-0 is the score. The Devils have the lead on Ken Danico's second goal of the playoff series. And a hand pass stopping play now with 5:30 left in the first period. Here's Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. Further update on our Washington Post scoreboard. As we head now to the Forum in Montreal, it is a Phil Housley goal that has given the Buffalo Sabres an early 1-0 lead. Bear in mind that series tied 1-1. Upcoming in our first intermission here on Home Team Sports, we'll visit with the Washington Capitals Director of Player Personnel, Jack Button, find out about some of the kids in the system. Some of them here right now in town to see the Washington Capitals here in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Jack Button joins us in the first intermission. Back upstairs now to Mike and Al. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this first period. The Caps still down by 1. Just good job again done by those New Jersey penalty killers. And, you know, one of the things that their penalty killing forwards do so well are block shots from the point. It's one thing to be checking your men and creating turnovers, but those New Jersey forwards when they're out there killing penalties, do a great job of blocking those shots coming in from the point and never get them onto the goal.
Here comes Kelly Miller trying to center. Just misses Berglund. And the puck comes all the way back to center ice. Sheehy gets slashed by Bob Brook. Plays the puck to Alan May. Here goes May to the corner. Tied up by Weinrich. Now Berglund throws it behind the net. May tries to dig it free with a backhand shot, but a whistle. And a penalty call coming, and May gets shoved in front of the net, gets knocked down. And we'll see if anything additional is tagged on to the original call. I believe the original penalty was going to be against the Devils, but let's see what Ron Hogarth has to say here. Now Scott Stevens tying up with Jamie Huscroft. Looks like they might be getting, Huscroft may be getting a misconduct penalty. He's being taken off the ice. And the same is going for Alan May, and Berglund is headed to the box with the apparent original penalty.
Well, I thought that original call was going to be on Berglund, but Alan May got knocked down by two New Jersey Devil players after the whistle. And yet Ron Hogarth has decided to even things out on the misconducts, apparently. Now you see the play. Here Alan May spins away from Weinrich. Now he's going to come walking out in front of the net, but the whistle blows on an elbowing call after May takes that shot. Now the play continues, and right here you see Alan May. Now watch what happens to him.
He was turning away, Al. He was leaving.
Got two New Jersey Devils with the shove to him. He looked like he was exactly doing what Terry Murray said. Get away. And yet he gets called.
Washington, number 11, Tim Berglund, 2 minutes for elbow. The Capitals, number 16, Alan May, a 10-minute misconduct. Time of the calls, 14.
Misconduct penalties to May and Huscroft, and then Berglund for elbowing. The time of the penalties, 14:58. Here's Langway to clear it all the way down the ice. Washington right now must tend to some penalty killing duty. Kelly Miller is out there along with Mike Ridley, Rod Langway, and Kevin Hatcher. Weinrich. Outside for Stastny, and now Hatcher steals and clears. 6 shots on goal for Washington, only 2 for the Devils. Yet New Jersey owns a 1-0 lead on a goal by Ken Danico. Stastny to the blue line. Into the corner of the Washington zone. He's checked by Kevin Hatcher. The puck played to the point. Driver keeps it in. Hatcher bumped behind the net by Stastny. Now McLean tries to dig it out. McLean knocked to the ice by Hatcher. The puck cleared to the point. Weinrich keeps it in. It popped up inside the zone, and now Muller throws to the corner. Muller back after Hatcher. But Bruce skates away with it and clears it off the board. 4 minutes to go, first period. Devils leading 1-0. 49 seconds left in the Berglund penalty. Here's McLean, pinned by Rouse. McLean a wrist shot. Save made by the stick of Liu. Backhand clearing by Scott Stevens. Kasatonov back to the Washington line. Stevens to Rouse, and he backed it all the way down. Here's Fetisov, hooked in the corner. There's going to be a penalty here against Ridley. Washington will be 2 men short for 21 seconds. And following that, the Devils will still have plenty of power play time remaining.
Well, it started out with the Capitals getting 2 straight calls in their favor. Now it's been the Capitals getting calls against them, and New Jersey really getting on the power play. Very similar to kind of what happened the other night with John Druce getting in there doing a lot of forechecking against Fetisov. In the eyes of the referee, Kerry Fraser, that night, and tonight with Ridley on Fetisov, a little too much of him with the stick. As we said that night also, it's one of the talents that the Soviet players have. They're very adept at drawing those penalties and really doing a good job of selling it.
Dale Hunter comes out now for Washington with Langway and Stevens, and those 3 will have to face the New Jersey power play. Brendan Shanahan is on with John Morris and Patrick Sundstrom. Kasatonov and Fetisov back on the blue line. Stevens throws it all the way down. Hunter just was on to win the faceoff. He now heads to the bench, and Kelly Miller hops on the ice. Tees off left side for Sundstrom. Poke loose to center. Kasatonov back to chase it. Now Brendan Shanahan. Right side, off the skates of Sundstrom and into the corner. Liut keeps it going behind the net. Langway up the boards. Miller turns and fires all the way down the ice. Berglund's out of the box. Now it's a one-man advantage for New Jersey. Kasatonov to Morris. John Morris to center. Gets across the line. Tries to split the defense. Stevens knocks Morris down. And the puck cleared all the way down the ice by Langway. Kasatonov to center. Right wing side for Sundstrom. Hook check by Stevens. Here's a steal. Pavanka short-handed. In with Bruce. Goes to the corner. Tried to center. And Kasatonov makes the play and clears it all the way out to center ice. And Pavanka back to the Devils zone. Kasatonov, left side. Kirk Muller throws it into the Washington end. Here's Miller for Washington. Into the corner for Rouse. Plays it to Hatcher, and he sends it off the glass, and it hit Kasatonov. Play is stopped as Berglund took off on a 2-on-1. Now Muller and Rouse start to push and shove out at center ice, and we have an injured Devil player. Trainer Ted Such comes out as that clearing play by Kevin Hatcher went off the glass, and it hit the Soviet defenseman Kasatonov. And he apparently has sustained some sort of a facial wound and is lying on the ice now, being helped up by the New Jersey trainer. It doesn't look as though there's too much of an injury. That's within the referee's discretion to make a call when he feels that a player is injured. But if the Capitals are feeling that it was an unnecessary stoppage in play because Kasatonov was caught on the play after he was hit, well, the Caps had a 2-on-1.
Mike, it was Wayne Bonney who alerted Ron Hogarth to the injury, and he, in effect, was the one who stopped the play by pointing out that injury. And it was Wayne Bonney who now just had a quick discussion with Terry Murray at the Capital bench. But you're right, a 2-on-1 possibility for the Capitals coming up, and a shorthanded situation was taken away. But there's no question also, though, Kasatonov did get that puck pretty square in the jaw.
He's being looked at now by the trainer on the Jersey bench, and I think you're right. It's pretty definite that he got popped pretty good in the mouth with that puck. Caps cleared all the way down once more. 18 seconds left. And here is Muller. Kirk Muller to center, being hooked by Kelly Miller at the blue line. Miller tries to steal. Weinrich to the corner. Langway jams him up. Hatcher comes in to throw a hit on Muller. The Caps are bumping Kirk Muller good tonight. They're really giving him a shot whenever they can. Here's Weinrich. He's hit by Langway. Both teams at full strength. Berglund reaches in for it, but Miller makes the difference in front of the net. Now here's Berglund to throw a hit along the sideboards and knocking down his Devil opponent. And Weinrich on the receiving end of that one, and Berglund gets one back. Berglund's got a cut over his right eye. I think that was the reason for his treatment of Weinrich in the corner, giving him a shot to knock him down.
You see that stick coming up from Weinrich in that collision. And that's what gets the response from Tim Berglund. No call, though, from Ron Hogarth on either end. And this Capitol Center crowd giving quite an ovation to the Capitol penalty killers as they have kept their team in this game. Still a 1-0 New Jersey lead with 1:02 left to go. Hogarth having a discussion with his linesmen, Bonney and Pateman. But no calls coming out of this. Some even-strength 5-on-5 hockey. With this face-off just over the Capitol blue line between Maley and Hunter.
We're in the final minute of play in the first period. The Devils clear it back into the Washington zone. Scott Stevens chasing a bouncing puck. Clears it ahead to Courtnall. Here's Courtnall, right wing side for Steve Leach. Leach across the blue line. Hunter goes to the corner and attempts to jam up Belichick. Belichick still with the puck. Hit by Leach. The puck loose at the side of the goal, and now it's cleared out to Conacher. Conacher skates to center. Being hooked by Courtnall. Conacher across the line. stops to avoid Stevens. Stevens comes back and runs Conacher over. Now Leach holds his man Malin. Puck cleared in behind the net. And Doug Brown tied up on the play by Rouse. Brown with it still. Tries to center, just misses Maley, and now Korthoff comes up with it. 15 seconds to go in the period. Here's Leach across the blue line. An offside call as Belichick ties up Leach, crossing into the New Jersey zone for the Capitals.
Well, I've got to feel the New Jersey Devils think they have been fouled constantly here by the Washington Capitals. As the period has gone on, the Capitals have become a much more physical team, something they had to do. But the Devils, with every player I see out there, has been having some sort of comment around Hogarth. And Doug Brown, the latest, as he feels he was high-sticked by Bob Rouse. But another good shift from Stephen Leach, another very physical shift from Stephen Leach, and the Capitals certainly are starting to play that style as the period has continued. We'll see how the Devils respond to it in the second period.
Johansson fires it in. Here's a centering play by Cicerelli, knocked to the corner. Now Shanahan back to get it as time runs out. Shots on goal in the first period. Very, very low for both teams. Washington with only 6, New Jersey with but 3. And the Devils have a 1-0 lead on Ken Danico's second goal of the playoffs. Our live exclusive hockey coverage continues right after we pause for these messages here on the Home Team Sports Television Network.